Professor Kurula Joseph, the faculty, students, ladies and gentlemen. First off, I would like to thank the both of you and you who introduced me to the audience for your kind words. And I'm really happy to be here amongst you all at IIST once again. Between my previous visit and this one, a lot has changed. A lot has changed in our country, and a whole lot more has changed within ISRO. In the interim, ISRO has demonstrated its proficiency in various subdisciplines of space technology. Whether it is Earth resources management, exploration of our celestial neighborhood, command and control of space vehicles, self-reliance in launcher technology, creation of infrastructure to support future endeavors in these domains. And while it was doing all this, it has even worked towards placing a human in near-Earth orbit. Build a facility to support science in near-Earth orbit. And I refer here to the Bharatiya Antariksh Station. And finally, ISRO by 2040 will be putting an Indian footprint on the lunar surface. All that I have mentioned thus far has happened due to stalwarts who have steered ISRO and helped in realizing the vision of ISRO all these years for some 5.5 decades. And some of them are seated in the front row, some of them on the side. They were on the stage up till now. So, the future trajectory of ISRO and all the challenging milestones which are yet to be achieved by it, it will happen in the coming years and within the professional lifetimes of all of you who are sitting here today. So today I am basically going to focus, and whatever I have to say, I will be addressing it to the students who are joining their various courses or are coming close to complete their learning here and are about to leave this Institute of Excellence after you have completed your curriculum. And now some of you are probably getting ready to begin your careers either in ISRO or then perhaps in the private sector. Please remember that the Indian private sector in this domain of space, I'm restricting myself to space, in the foreseeable future will always remain a vendor to ISRO. And have no doubt that all cutting edge ideation and execution of future space exploration will be driven by ISRO and not by the private sector. Just for your information, SpaceX, Shri Elon Musk's SpaceX, was formed some 4.5 decades after NASA came into being. And so, if we consider the same kind of timeline, understand that we have just opened the private sector in India, in our country. So by the time an Indian equivalent of SpaceX comes into being, it is likely that most of you students would have ended your productive lives, all your tenures, and I'm sure that when you add that, you can do the math yourself. So before you come to this decision point regarding your career choice, you may like to consider what I am about to share. And I want to begin with the fundamentals that each of us oldies, when we started our careers, we sought success within professionally satisfying careers. We looked for professional fulfillment. The money that we earned while we went about our work was not such a big deal. It certainly was not the deciding factor. It was just incidental. Today it is not. And here I'm not passing a value judgment. I'm not being judgmental. I am merely stating a fact as it exists today. You know, when the dot-com wave started, it was just another avenue of employment. But when it took off, it became a vehicle of lucrative employment. And that is when the phenomenon of migration to foreign countries began. And slightly later, also what began within our own country was the lateral migration from one Indian company to another Indian company that offered better remuneration. Not an ideal situation for either innovation or research and development. So over time, we became the back office of the world, and those of us who had migrated to other countries mortgaged their intellectual potential to help develop the economies of those countries. In exchange, of course, for very impressive remuneration. Again, I'm saying this without malice or judgment. This is what has happened. The question to ask is whether their careers were fulfilling, whether it was professionally satisfying. Was it so for most of them? Let us just park this thought aside for a moment as I move on. I stated earlier that all of us from our generation do is really minutely examine our individual understanding of this concept called success. What is success? I think this is a very important question, especially before you decide to choose your careers. I believe that professionals of tomorrow, which you all are, must first resolve the conflict in your heads of what precisely constitutes success. In fact, the word success itself needs to be understood in the context of professionalism. Is success within the context of professionalism? Is it financial wealth? Is it a high salary? Is it a fancy designation? Is it a corner office? Or is it the earning of a professional reputation and attendant respect? Because professional